everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Breeze's Saints going up against Wilson's Seahawks.
Larry, overcast skies, but knock on wood, no rain on the radar to speak of right now as we welcome you to CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An early statement on the game's first play. 18 yards and a first down. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all their assignments, created a nice gap for the running.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
This offense converted once already in this first quarter. They're going to try it again here on 4th down. Now it's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Now Breeze. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and it's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So Breeze is going to stay out there, and they're going to go for this on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Breeze. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be 2 guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
Wilson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP. 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game. Not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They'll toss it out to Carson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On second down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Craig Robertson. In from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. New Orleans offense working its way back out there. As we look at them ahead to 2018, as that wound at the end of 2017 continues to heal, Charles, they're going to have Kamara, Ingram, Thomas. If they have Breeze back at quarterback, this should be an excellent squad again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. On second down, here's Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished second. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought, was going to be the guy who got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find a running game and get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So the chains are on their sides. It's 1st and goal from the 6. This is Carson, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They run again with Carson, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999 where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. Second down here after the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Breeze. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's going to be shoved down pretty hard. A gain of 39 that time. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And this is incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Now Breeze to try again after the pick six. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Mike Bennett in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Breeze to throw on second down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Shotgun now for Breeze. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man, complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here.
And now here is another interception. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a 1st down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover it? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things.
Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. This New Orleans team definitely a second-half club a year ago. In fact, they had the best second-half differential in the NFL, +6. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They run it with Carson, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. A good pickup there at 20 yards. They'll try to run with Carson, and he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On the carry, it's Davis. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Mike Davis taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. A toss running left. It's Carson, and he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They'll run for it. It's Ingram. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. That one good for 14 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now they'll throw with Breeze. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Breeze to Ingram on the draw. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Breeze got to have this one. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to just keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Now Wilson on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. Touchdown, Seattle. Paul Richardson, 56 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff position? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article is saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Saints on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Breeze now to throw. On target over the middle to Hill. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and that leads to a New Orleans first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has...